Thanks for letting me stay on with your crew, Captain. I plan to be a very generous queen to all my friends.
I can see we're gonna get along just fine, your high exaltedness.
Don't start with that. Risha will do fine. For now. Every captain needs a good first mate. Corso doesn't know what it takes to run a starship. But I do. Considering the light years you've been racking up, I suggest a hyperdrive overhaul and a sublight engine tune-up. Which do you want first?
The last thing we need is to get stranded in deep space. Keep my hyperdrive hyper.
Consider it done. I'll be indispensable before you know it. Bet you were surprised to see I can hold my own in a fight. I'm pretty good with a blaster. My father taught me to shoot when I was 4 years old.
My kid will be born with a blaster in one hand and credits in the other.
Sorry, I was just imagining you with a child. Father wanted me self-sufficient as early as possible. Said I'd need it to survive. He was right. I still remember the day he told me he was going to sleep for a while. Said I was on my own.
Nock was in that carbonite for a decade. Weren't you still counting birthdays on one hand?
I was 11. Made my first solo hyperspace jump and flew to Dantooine. Father had a hideout there. Talk about your one bantha planets. For a few years, Dantooine's population was doubled thanks to me and Father frozen in carbonite.
You talk a lot about Nock, but you've never mentioned your mother.
She died when I was young. I don't remember her. Looking back, I should have been miserable. But it was just a big adventure. Speaking of which, we're overdue for some more excitement. What do you say we get back to our latest caper? Sometimes I can't believe you actually got back my crown. Do you know how many spacers died looking for it? Don't take this the wrong way, but when we first met, I thought you'd end up like all the others.
I'll always beat the odds. You can count on that.
That's why I stuck around. I need all the good luck I can get. You're all right, Captain. With a little polish, you just might shine.
Don't get your hopes up, Risha. You're not my type.
Wait, you thought I was flirting with you? Please, you're not my type either. I shouldn't be keeping us from our work. I know how busy we are. I think I figured out why we get along so well, Captain. We're both restless people. It's how we survive. Trouble loves us, and we just keep on moving. Eventually, Trouble gets tired of following and gives up.
I've attracted some awfully persistent trouble.
Some people are lucky that way. There wasn't nearly enough trouble growing up on Dantooine. After being a crime lord's daughter, sitting around got dull real quick. I had a big library of holo recordings from my father, but I could only watch them so many times.
Never figured Nock for the sentimental type. He left you a bunch of hollows dispensing his life's wisdom?
If by wisdom you mean teaching me how to become a criminal, then yes. He was a good teacher, very detail-oriented. By the time I was 14, I'd had enough. I buried Father's carbonite chamber someplace safe and hit the hyperlanes with a new identity. Those were good times. I met Juran and Adila, got mixed up with Beryl Thorne, lived a life of crime.
Every time I see some idiot scrubbing tables at a cantina, I think of how lucky I am.
Normal jobs are for people who aren't smart enough to earn a real living. I'm starting to enjoy these chats, but I'm feeling restless. Let's go find some trouble. If I'm going to take over Dubrillion, I can't keep looking for allies in the same old places. The scum of the galaxy isn't as useful when you're stealing a throne. I need a better class of accomplices.
You can't steal anything big without some corrupt officials on your payroll.
There are some interesting rumors out of Dubrillion. Turns out the aristocracy is unhappy with the king. Some nobles are secretly rebelling.
Taxes are the leading cause of rebellions. I bet that's the problem.
You have such a wonderfully simple view of politics. It terrifies me how often you're right. Dubrillion is turning into another Alderaan. A new queen could prevent that, assuming she had the aristocracy's support. But that means taking this game to a new level. You up for that?
You're the one steering the ship. I'm just along for the ride.
That's not exactly true. But thanks for the vote of confidence. That was confidence, right? I've put out feelers to some key Dubrillion nobles. When one of them bites, be ready to pounce. In the meantime, we have plenty of other business to keep us occupied. My search for allies in Dubrillian's aristocracy has been interesting. Got an offer from a lesser baron. What a piece of work. Guy must think I'm an idiot. Took 2 minutes to verify he's a spy for the king. He was baiting me into a trap.
You know what I like to do with traps? Turn them against whoever set them.
Just one more thing we have in common. I sent the spy a phony meeting request from Nar Shaddaa. He's sending friends to help me. They're in for a surprise. Couple of Hutts owe me a favor. They promised to record the whole thing. I'll send the king a copy. Never thought I'd say this, but you're my favorite partner in crime. You make beating the odds look easy, Captain.
That may be the biggest compliment you've ever paid me.
I like to mix a little praise with the insults. Keeps you off balance. I've definitely learned a few dirty tricks from watching you work. Think I might have found a few of my own. We'll find out at our next death-defying showdown. I can't wait. You probably think I'm chasing Dubrillian's throne to get rich, don't you?
Your motives are your business. I don't judge.
All my father cared about was revenge. That isn't me. I've seen what bad leadership does to a place. Alderaan, Nar Shaddaa, even Coruscant. They all suffer because of who's in power. I'm not looking to plunder Dubrillian. I want to make it better. Run their society the right way.
From everything I've heard about your homeworld, you could use someone decent in charge.
Never thought of myself as decent before. Maybe I can sell that. Every successful leader has the same strength. They're perceived as generous by their subjects. Give the people just enough of what they want, and they'll leave you alone. That's something the King of Dubrillian doesn't understand.
For a second, I thought I was seeing a whole new side of you. False alarm.
I'm just saying what everyone else is thinking. Nothing wrong with that. I can make this work. It's all about negotiation, and I'm good at that. I'm just thinking out loud now. We should get back to business. The longer I spend here, the more it feels like home. I'm even starting to appreciate Corso. Must be coming down or something. Promise me you'll visit often when I'm Queen of Dubrillian.
I'll visit so often you'll have to build an extra wing onto the palace.
Why not? How about a private landing pad to go with it? It'd be nice to sneak away with you for the occasional break. Go someplace dangerous. Steal something expensive. Mock the bad guys. When you think about it, being queen of a planet provides the perfect alibi. We should take advantage of that. Guess who found a potential accomplice in the Dubrillian aristocracy? Feast your eyes on this hollow-embossed, genuine flimsiplast invitation. See that fancy Arabesh lettering? Hand-drawn, in ink, classy. Count Merritt Reneld requests the favor of your presence at a discreet location in the Galactic Senate Tower on Coruscant at a time of your choosing.
Coruscant? Why not Dubrillian?
Coruscant is neutral ground. Meeting at the Senate Tower? That's a gesture of respect. Count Reneld is one of the most popular nobles on Dubrillian. He's also secretly organizing a rebellion against the king. His invitation is addressed to Risha Drayan, royal heir to the Drayan dynasty. He's taking me very seriously.
I didn't think you were broadcasting your true identity.
I had no choice. Risha from Nar Shaddaa doesn't carry the same weight as Risha the future queen. I'm contacting him by holo to arrange our meeting. Wanted you here to help me get a read on him. Opening a channel. Whoa.
This is a tremendous moment, your royal heiress. I grew up here.
Guess who found a potential accomplice in the Dubrillian aristocracy? Feast your eyes on this hollow-embossed, genuine flimsiplast invitation. See that fancy Arabesh lettering? Hand-drawn, in ink, classy. Count Merritt Reneld requests the favor of your presence at a discreet location in the Galactic Senate Tower on Coruscant at a time of your choosing.
Shh, amateurs. Like we'd ever fall for something like that.
Nobody puts this much effort into a trap. Look at all the embossing. That took sincerity. Count Reneld is one of the most popular nobles on Dubrillian. He's also secretly organizing a rebellion against the king. His invitation is addressed to Risha Drayan, royal heir to the Drayan dynasty. He's taking me very seriously.
I didn't think you were broadcasting your true identity.
I had no choice. Risha from Nar Shaddaa doesn't carry the same weight as Risha the future queen. I'm contacting him by holo to arrange our meeting. Wanted you here to help me get a read on him. Opening a channel. Whoa.
This is a tremendous moment, your royal heiress. I grew up hearing tales of the Drayan dynasty, the great battles your ancestors fought. I never believed I'd meet a member of that proud bloodline in person. You have my deepest sympathies for your family's exile.
Risha wants back into Debrillion politics. You can make that happen, right?
You must be the starship captain who recovered the crown of Debrillion. My world is in your debt.
The king wants that crown, and my head. He won't be happy if he finds out we're talking.
The man has lost all reason. He must be removed from power, but in a way that spares our world a bloody civil war. I believe the common people and aristocracy alike would embrace the Drayan dynasty heir, especially if she wears the crown of Debrillion.
I doubt your current ruler will abdicate just because Risha has a better hat.
The king's power base is already unstable. It will crumble under the right pressure. Right now, you are an outsider. The only way to change that is to marry someone from the existing aristocracy.
Get married? To who?
Well, the only available suitor is... Great stars, this is awkward. I am offering myself in marriage to you.
This guy doesn't beat around the bantha. How do you want to play this?
You could have at least sent flowers, Count.
I understand my proposal is abrupt, but I wished to make my intentions clear and not waste your valuable time. I certainly don't expect an immediate response. All I ask is that you consider this for the good of Debrillion.
That'll be easier to do once we've met in person. I'm on my way to Coruscant. See you there, Count. Well, that wasn't awkward at all.
Count was a lot nicer than most of the people we deal with.
Hard to be sure over the holo, but I'm comfortable enough to meet him in person. Under the circumstances, I should probably take this meeting alone. Be back soon, Captain. Never talked to a complete stranger for that long before. Count Renald gives to charities, builds orphanages, creates wildlife preserves, and those are just his hobbies. You ever consider we've been wasting our lives?
I've definitely been wasting my time. The nanosecond you find some blue stuffed shirt, you're ready to abandon ship.
That was always our deal. And it's not like I said yes to him. I told the Count I needed time to think about his proposal. That'll give me a chance to run a deep background check. If this guy is as good as he seems, he just might help me overthrow the king without getting married. Count Renald is a man of his word. He sends me daily updates about his rebellion's progress. Incredibly sweet, beautifully written updates. I knew taking Debrillion's throne would be a challenge, but this is getting complicated. Merritt's every bit the man he appears to be. Even the dirt I've dug up on him turned out clean.
I can't wait to hear what skeletons are rattling around his royal closet.
He stole the crown jewels when he was 5, got a slap on the wrist, and he's been clean ever since. Seriously. Nothing about this guy triggers warning bells. When it comes to husbands, I could do a lot worse. I'll stop bothering you. I needed to talk, and you're the only person who understands me.
I'm always here if you need me.
I'm sure there's trouble somewhere with our name on it. What do you say we go take all its credits? I was prepared for almost anything if it meant becoming queen. Foiling assassination attempts, fighting wars, bunking on this ship for years. Just kidding. Marrying the Count was never part of the plan. Can I really do that?
Never back yourself into a corner, I always say. The Count seems nice right now, but someday he'll be fat and old.
The medtechs on Debrillion can work miracles. I've seen 80-year-olds passing for 20. That's what I plan to do. Ugh. I hadn't even thought about producing heirs. Not that he wouldn't be a great father. This conversation's officially given me a headache. Let's go do something outrageous. Things on Dubrillion have taken a turn. The king's put a death mark on Count Renaud's head. When the citizens heard that, they rebelled. The king imposed martial law to stop the rioting. But that got the aristocracy riled up. The whole planet's going to war.
Sounds like the Count's plan to avoid bloodshed by marrying you just went up in flames.
We were never going to unseat the king without a fight. I just hoped we'd pick the time and place. Needless to say, the Count has his hands full just staying alive. But even with all that's happened, he still wants to marry me. I can't keep putting him off. Any advice how I should play this?
Forget about the politics for a second. You love this guy or not?
I barely know him. This isn't about love. I need to figure out what's best for my long-term plans. Oh, perfect. Time's up. That's him calling on the Hollow. All right. Let's do this. Merritt, I'm glad you're safe. From what I hear, the fighting got worse after you escaped.
I cannot spare Dubrillion from war, but perhaps we can still create a better future together. I realize forging a true relationship takes time, and our marriage won't be consummated for some time, but I am hopeful. My proposal stands, dear Risha. Will you marry me?
This man could be dead tomorrow, even if he lives. Who knows what the politics of Dubrillion will be like when the war ends? The best thing you can do is stay independent. It's always worked for me.
Merritt, I feel like we're rushing into things. We should take our time. For the good of Dubrillion.
You're absolutely right. Let us part as friends. Farewell, Risha. May the stars watch over you.
That ended better than I expected. Except for that whole part with my world being at war.
You're not having any regrets about turning down the Count, are you?
I've never regretted anything about my life. No reason to start now. That's enough politics and relationship issues for one day. Let's go steal something expensive. I always feel better after a good caper. I've been getting reports on the war for Dubrillion. It's dragging into a stalemate. Nobody has a clear advantage yet. I want to get more involved with the war effort, but my allies tell me the best thing I can be is a symbol.
Don't listen to those people. If you want to fight for your planet, just do it.
Problem is, they're right. I'm 100 times more effective as a rallying point for people who oppose the king. The minute I open my mouth and start talking politics, I risk losing support. I can't afford that right now. Guess I'm stuck on the sidelines until it's over. At least I have company. I've been thinking about the future a lot lately, and I had a funny realization. Every scenario I see, you're in it. I've never let myself get close to anyone. Not even my friends from the old days. But you're more than a friend. You're the closest thing I have to family.
Right back at you, Risha.
I don't know what the future holds for us, but I promise to always be there. Not just for you, but everyone you care about. That's as mushy as I'm getting. Back to finding trouble.